Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. Today I have a haul from a stamp company called The Ton. Now I hadn't heard of them, but recently I was watching some videos on YouTube and they had the prettiest flowers from this stamp set. So I went online to order this stamp set and it's called, let's see, I don't know what it's called, but I'll have it all linked down below. They had a set for scrapbooking and a set for card making, and I got the one for card making, and I'm going to use this for scrapbooking as well as card making. I got the die set that came with this set, and I'll have all of these items linked below. I also got this. Isn't this fancy? I'm a wannabe fashionista, but I don't wear heels anymore. I used to wear heels all the time when I used to work as a consultant, literally running through the airport in heels. But I thought this was so cute. And I also see fashionista. I like this stamp set. And then I got this one about makeup. I do have a makeup YouTube channel as well, and I love makeup, so I got this one as well. So I'll have all of these items linked below. But I thought maybe we could go through and try some of these stamp flowers. Won't that be fun? Now I have some Altenew stamps here that I want to use for this stamp project. And these are the stamps that I have from them. I think I'm going to use this bright pink and green one for this. So let's go ahead and open this up. An 8.5 or 8 3/4 by 12-inch stamp set. That's huge. Now I'm going to have to find a storage envelope to fit all of this. But I like all these because it has little sayings that you can write on cards. So I'm going to start with making a card. Oh, there's no instruction on here. Okay, let me go get my supplies and I'll be right back. Okay, this is a stamping platform. Now the thing with this that's nice is I don't use it very much, but you can do this for the red cling side as well as a clear side. So I do like this. I wish I had the mini Misty because that would be smaller, but I don't know if I love this or not, but we're gonna go ahead and use this. So I have this cardstock. It's Nina White. I think this is 80 pound. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this down here and let's go ahead and try this out. This is gonna be my first time doing this, and I think we go with the darkest ones for, the fullest flowers first. Okay, you know what I forgot to do is rub my hands across this. Let me get an eraser. Here's my eraser, and I'm just gonna lightly rub that over this stamp so that, because when it's new it's got like debris on it and it won't stamp very well. You could also put this on your hand and get some of the stickiness away. See, this is what there we go. Okay, so we need to use the lightest colors first, I think. So let's go ahead and y'all are learning this with me, okay? So let's try this Altenew Crisp Dye ink in Pink Diamond. Like this is when it's nice to have a big ink pad, right? Okay, let's try stamping this. Oh, that didn't work very well. Let's try it again. This is why it's good to have this stamping platform, because you can re-ink it and just try it again and it'll go in the same spot. That still didn't work. Now Altenew inks are known for doing their layering, so I think it's the stamp platform because it's right around here that it wasn't stamping very well. Okay, I've already ruined this one, so let's try another piece of paper. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, I guess, but I just feel like if the whole section is missing, well, that's a little better. I wonder if it's the ink. Let me try it again. I wonder if I just need to, let's see. I just went and got this towel to try to press this down without burning my hand. Oh, that's better. Okay, I'm gonna use my stamp chamois to clean that off. Put the stamp back. Go to the next stamp. Now I'm going back to the next stamp. I'm gonna go ahead and put the eraser to this and get all the stickiness away. So I'm going back to the first one that I made with the mistakes. There are lines here that line up with here and these little squares and dots to perfectly match up where the stamp should go. So I do like that. That makes it super easy. So let's try the next color. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with Pinkalicious. Makes me want to sing Pinkalicious. Does anyone have little daughters? Young daughters, I mean. And they know that song from the Broadway show, which is based off of the book Pinkalicious, with her brother Peter, who also likes the color pink. Yeah, I don't know if it's the inks or if it's the ink pad, the inks or the stamp pad that's making this hard, but let's try this. Ooh, that's pretty! It's not as good as I would like it to be. Let's try another layer. Okay. Next I have this last stamp. I'm gonna just put the eraser through this one as well. Then I'm gonna place this down right here where the lines go. And the squares meet up. Click that down. And then go with the next color, which is Rubellite. Let's make sure the stickiness is gone from here. Oh, those are pretty. Aren't those pretty? That might not be perfect, but... So this is where the voiceover section starts. I couldn't find any quiet time to finish this card. My kids are so loud, and there's 4 of them running around. So I am using the Altenew Green Meadows set for this stamp, for the green leaf part. And for the first set, I used the Minty Mint. And on the second one, I'm going to use Sweet Leaf. I'm using my Tombow white eraser and the stamp chamois to clean off the new stamp. Now I'm using Sweet Leaf to stamp the second portion of the leaf set. And I'm just using a rag to rub over it so I don't burn my hand. See how pretty that is? For the third layer, I'm using the Just Green for the third layer of this leaf. And I do have to end up stamping each of these colors twice to make sure I get a good image on the paper, on the Neenah White cardstock. Again, I rub the eraser over it and then use a stamp chamois to clean that off. And then I use the Just Green for the last layer. Now, one thing I did do is I didn't stamp it correctly to cut it all with the die cut once. So I'm just going to show you how I did the first set. I ended up having to cut the cardstock so that I could fit the flowers into the die cutting machine, my Big Shot. And I'm only going to show you one set because the first time I only made 3 sets of flowers. But the second time I did it, and I stamped it so that I could get all the greens and the flowers into one die, I made several more so that I could have several cards on hand. So I'm using washi tape to line up the die with the flower set. And then I'm going to take it through my Big Shot. And this Big Shot is so old. I think I got it when it first came out. How long ago was that? Decades? I don't remember. I've had it for so long. Every once in a while, I think about getting the electronic one, but I don't make cards enough to justify that. So there's the first set, and then now I'm going to go through and do the leaves separately. Next, you're going to see where I did stamp it, the flowers and the leaves together so that they would all fit in on one die. And I end up going through and putting 2 sets in and die cutting them at once. I'm trying to save myself some time here. So I'm using the washi tape and I'm going to put that through my Big Shot machine, and it worked out perfectly. I love that I can cut 2 sets at the same time. So after I do this, I'm going to go ahead and start making my card. I love how it looks so dimensional and so pretty. I thought about doing something for the background of the card, but I decided I've already spent enough time on this card and it's so pretty as it is that I'm just going to use the die cuts for the card. One thing I noticed after I finished die cutting it was that I forgot to stamp the inside of the flowers. So for inside of the flowers, I'm using the Altenew Pocket Full of Sunshine set of stamps. It's yellow, but the one color I ended up using was maple yellow. It took me some time to figure out which middle of the flower goes with which middle of the flower, but once I figured it out, it was easy to just stamp them all and get them ready to make the card with. Now, after I do that, I'm going to stamp all of the yellows. So here I'm using a Neenah cardstock. It's the 110 pound, and I'm trying to decide the design of my flowers. I decide I like this, and so I take a picture of it because I want to stamp my sentiment on there. The stamp set that I end up picking, or the sentiment I end up picking, is it says to say thank you, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to stamp that using my Versa Magic, which is the watermark kind of a glue type of ink, or glue I should say, and I'm trying to decide where I'm going to put that because I am going to heat emboss that using the fine detail embossing powder from Nuvo. Initially I think I'm just going to use a acrylic block, but I end up using the platform, the stamp platform, to do this so I could get it right on all the cards. Once I stamp that, I'm going to use my Nuvo Fine Detail Black Embossing Powder, and this is a new one. I bought the Fine Detail one so that I could use it on these small sentiments, and I'm going to use that, and I forgot to use my powder tool first, so I'm going to go back and do another one with the powder tool. And the powder tool is to take the static away from the card so that the embossing powder only sticks onto the Versa Magic that I stamp on there. And you'll see that after I do that, it's much better. Because the first one, when I tried to heat emboss it, it ended up getting black all over. So next I heat emboss it. Now the trick with heat embossing is that first you need to heat up the gun before you aim that at the embossing powder. That way it melts evenly and nicely. Then I take this mini, what is this called? The mini card boning folder thing. I'll link it down below because I can't remember what it's called. I have the large one, but I like the mini, especially for when I go on crops and make cards. So I use the boning folder to fold the card in half. And now I'm going back to look at my picture to see how I had placed all the flowers initially the way I liked it. So I'm going to end up using Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive, and I have that in a fine line. I have it in a little fine line tube where the ink comes out using a 20 gauge needle so that I can get small pieces done. After I place that down, I'm going to have one layer of all flat against the card, and then on the big flower I'm going to use Stampin' Up! Foam Dimensionals to pop that up. And there you have it, my card, which I ended up loving. And I think I'm going to be ordering more stamps from the Ton. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.